please state your name and spell the last for the court?
My name is Lee Lincoln, Lincoln.
Mr. Lincoln, how old are you?
I am 17 years old.
And have you graduated high school?
Yes, I have.
Will you be attending college in the fall?
I will be attending National University in Washington, D.C.
And do you know the defendant?
I do. Dustin Beaver and I were close friends.
Did you attend your senior prom?
Yes, I did.
And who did you attend the prom with?
I went to the prom with Dustin Beaver and my twin sister, Lori.
And what did you do after prom?
After prom, a group of friends and I went to the Shelley Beach Marina.
And who suggested to go to the marina?
Dustin Beaver and I were planning this trip for a few months before prom. We were hoping it would be a romantic evening.
And what were you planning to do at the marina?
Well, we had 2 boats there, and we were going to take them out onto the river.
And who were the drivers of these boats?
Dustin was piloting his own boat, and Alex Alvaro was driving her boat.
And whose boat were you in that night?
My twin sister and I went on Dustin's boat.
And was that the only people on Mr. Beaver's boat?
Yes, we were the only ones.
And was there alcohol at this party?
Yes, there was.
And how much alcohol was there?
There was quite a bit. I brought a case of 12-ounce cans and a bottle of champagne. And halfway through the evening, Dustin pulled out the first bottle of beer that he had in his cutting cabinet on the ship.
Was there alcohol in the defendant's boat?
Yes, there was.
And who was drinking that night?
All of us were drinking that night. We thought it would be fun.
And did you see the defendant drink? Objection, Your Honor. Leading question. Overruled.
Yes, I did see Dustin Beaver drink. He consumed a 6-pack of beer and then was guzzling champagne throughout the evening.
And when did Mr. Beaver stop drinking?
We all stopped drinking at 1:30.
And was that when you ran out of alcohol?
Yes, it was. That was the only reason we stopped.
And how was the visibility that night?
It was really dark, and it was truly hard to see anything.
And what did you do on the river that night?
Well, as soon as we ran out of alcohol, we pulled up the anchors and decided to go about the river.
And then what happened?
Alex Alvaro had tubes on her boat, so she took 2 of her friends, Renee Robbins and Janet Johnson, out onto the river tubing.
And what happened after that?
Well, as we were going along the river, Dustin Beaver pulled up alongside Alex Alvaro's boat and decided to challenge her to a race.
And can you tell me about the race?
Yes, it went all around the river, and eventually we started speeding towards the railroad bridge.
And then what happened?
As we got closer and closer at high speeds, Alex Alvaro decided to back off, letting Dustin Beaver go ahead. And as we got close to the bridge, he swerved sharply to the right towards Point Douglas Beach. And at this point, I felt a jolt, as if we hit a sandbar.
Your Honor, I would like to approach the bench to show you the exhibit previously called Exhibit Number 5. You may. May I approach the co-counsel? Or the opposing counsel? You may. Let the record show that I am walking towards the opposing counsel to show that this is it.
The record will so reflect.
And may I approach the witness?
You may.
Let the record show that I am walking towards the witness with the exhibit in hand, going to show him. And has there been any changes to this?
No, this is a map of the St. Croix River, and it has not been tampered with at all.
I would like to offer this exhibit into evidence. I forgot the word. Its authenticity has been stipulated.
Any objection?
It's on a lack of foundation.
Counsel?
I would believe that it is going to show where the accident happened. I don't know.
May I respond?
You may.
Mr. Lincoln is not an expert in map making or an expert of the area.
May I respond to that?
You may.
He was there that night.
May I respond, Your Honor?
You may.
Your Honor, yes, he was there, but he is not an expert on the layout of the river. He may have been present, but he does not know the area from his view.
I have no response.
I'm sorry, you have further response or no response?
No response.
Counsel, the objection was lack of foundation. And would you please articulate where you believe then foundation is lacking other than he is not an expert in mapping?
That is my reason for this. He doesn't know the layout of the area, and he's not a map maker.
At this point, then, the objection would be sustained unless he articulates his familiarity with the location.
May I do so?
You need to respond to a question, though, by your attorney.
Mr. Lincoln, do you know what's on that map right there? Do you know where that is?
Yes, I do. I'm very familiar with the St. Croix River. As I state in my affidavit, I boat there every weekend with my friend Dustin Beaver. I know this area extensively because I've traveled throughout it every weekend on adventures that we've had.
Any further objection, then, counsel?
No, Your Honor.
Then, and I'm sorry, that's Exhibit 5?
Yes.
Exhibit 5 is received.
Thank you very much. And can you show me on the map, where did you feel the jolt?
On this map, as we approach the railroad bridge, right here, near the Point Douglas beach, Dustin Beaver swerved sharply to the right, and that is where I felt the jolt as we hit a sandbar.
And can you point to where the sandbars are in that river?
Yes. I may not be an expert in map making, however, I can see that there are 3 sandbars located on this map, and there are none within the proximity of the railroad bridge.
So, just to clarify, there is no sandbars where you felt that jolt.
There are absolutely none.
That night, did you see anyone under the bridge?
Yes, I did. I saw swimmers.
And what were they doing?
As soon as we drove through, they were waving frantically.
And did you come into close contact with the swimmers that night?
Yes. As we swerved towards the bridge, we were quite close to the Point Douglas beach.
And what happened after that?
Well, after we swerved and I felt the jolt, Dustin decided to go towards his friend Matt Mahoney's house. At this time, I told him we need to stop and turn around because there were swimmers back there. He told me that, no, we can't. We don't want the police to find out that we've been drinking. And so we did not stop.
And is that how the night ended?
No, as we went to Matt Mahoney's house, Dustin pulled up along his dock and then began to fiddle with his propeller.
And why was he fiddling with the propeller?
He said something about running over a rope at the dock. So he took it out and then cut his hand on it.
And how long was he playing with the propeller?
He was playing with it for a few minutes, and I took note of this because he's never done it before.
And was he taken to the hospital that night for that injury?
Yes.
Objection, Your Honor, leading question.
Sustained.
And what happened next?
He was taken to the hospital because of his injury. He was bleeding quite profusely, excuse me.
And how was the defendant driving that night?
Well, it was quite dark, and he'd been drinking a lot of alcohol. So I was quite worried and nervous. It was really hard to see, and he was driving at high speeds.
And how was it for you and your sister to ride the boat that night?
Well, I was truly terrified that he was driving the way he was. He knew that he had both the lives of my sister and me in his hands, and he decided to play games about that.
And did you talk to Mr. Beaver after that night?
Yes, the next day at school, I learned about the death of Freddie Ferris, or that he was missing, rather. and I talked to Dustin Beaver, and he told me to stop thinking about that, and that I shouldn't worry about those things.
And was that the last time you talked to him?
Yes, we haven't spoken since.
No more questions, Your Honor. Thank you.
Any cross-examination?
Yes, Your Honor. Hello, Mr. Lincoln.
Hello.
You and Mr. Beaver used to be close friends, isn't that true?
Yes, we were, but we aren't anymore, sadly.
But you used to be, correct?
Yes, we did. We
Okay.
voted a lot over the weekends.
Thank you.
You're
And
welcome.
Mr. Beaver and you were hanging out the night of prom, weren't you?
Yes, he took my twin sister Lori to the prom, so we hung out then.
But who did you find in Dustin's car that night?
Janet Johnson.
And that's definitely not his prom date. And isn't it true that you didn't give him a chance to explain himself?
Objection, improper character evidence.
Your Honor, he was there that night, and it clearly states in his affidavit that he didn't give Mr. Beaver a chance to explain himself.
The objections overruled.
Could you please restate the question?
All right, you said that you did not give Dustin a chance to explain himself that night when you found him in his car.
No, I didn't. I didn't feel that he deserved a chance. He wasn't dating my sister.
And you were drinking that night, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
And in fact, you supplied the alcohol that night.
Not all of it. As you will be aware of my
But you did
previous
supply the
testimony,
alcohol,
I...
didn't you, Mr. Lincoln?
Yes, but not all of
Thank
it.
you. And so you drank some beer and champagne, isn't that correct?
Yeah, we all did. It
And you
was fun.
stated that Mr. Beaver's actions were skewed from the alcohol. There's a possibility that your recollections from the night are as well, isn't there?
I'm confused at what you're asking. Could you please restate it?
You stated that Dustin Beaver, his recollections and his actions from the night were skewed from the alcohol. So with that logic in mind, yours is also possibly skewed from the alcohol.
No, I didn't drink nearly as much as he did.
But there's a possibility, Mr. Lincoln.
No, I would say no.
Objection, speculation.
Your Honor, I'm just asking for their input on this. He was there, he knows if his abilities were skewed or not.
The objections overruled.
It was a possibility, wasn't it, Mr. Lincoln?
No, I remember exactly what happened.
All right. But with that logic in mind, if you state that Mr. Beaver, his actions were skewed and he was drinking alcohol, thus that means that yours was as well.
No, he drank a large quantity, far more than I did, so that proves that his quantities were skewed, that his reactions were skewed in memory, but mine was not, for I did not drink nearly as
But
much
you
as
still
he.
drank alcohol, isn't that correct?
Yeah, I drank some.
So the possibility is there.
No, I will still say no.
All right. So you heard about Freddie's death at school, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
And about a week later, Detective Evans showed up at your doorstep,
Yes, you did.
and so you went to the police station with her,
I did. That's correct.
and she told you a few things, didn't she?
Yeah.
Like that you look suspicious in this case,
Yeah, I did. I was there that night.
and so you told her everything you knew.
Yes, everything I just stated.
And so in return, she offered you immunity.
I don't believe she used the phrase immunity.
But you have been given immunity, and that is why you're testifying for prosecution today, Mr. Lincoln.
No, she said that I won't be charged with anything, but she didn't say immunity.
And that you look suspicious, correct?
Yes.
All right. Now, do you want to cause trouble?
No, I do not want to cause any trouble.
And you're going to college this fall, you stated, correct?
Yep. National University in Washington, D.C.
Oh, perfect. So, do you think that criminal records look good on one's, say, college application?
No, but I've already been accepted, so it doesn't matter
So
anymore.
it doesn't look good on a college application.
My application has already been accepted. I'll be attending there in the fall.
But it could be pending if you are convicted of a homicide, isn't that correct?
I'm not being charged here.
I said if the possibility arises, it could affect your acceptance into college.
I will not be harming anyone recently or soon, so I don't think the possibility will ever arise. But if it were, yes, it wouldn't look very good on an application if I were to fill one out again.
Yes, and who are you testifying for today, just to clear the air?
The prosecution.